You realize that in an exam, them always say with the aid of a diagram, or then give you a diagram to explain. That is why. That is why. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be sharing some tips on how to pass your CSEC biology and your CAPE biology exam. If you're interested, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also go ahead and subscribe to Breeze Adventure. So I've been doing biology since grade 9. So these tips slash advice is coming from someone who studies biology in university. So the first tip, let's not waste any time. The first tip, okay, so biology is a subject that is based strictly on knowing and memorization. So you know how you can have some subjects that is common sense, like maybe just being aware of your surroundings, or maybe some parts of social studies. Once you watch news, you'll know things. Biology is a subject where it's either you know it or you don't. It's either you learn it or you did not learn it. It's either you know or you don't know. So it's a subject that is based primarily, in fact, not just biology, all the sciences. It's based on you learning, memorizing, and being able to reproduce what you learned, right? So it's a critical subject. So biology is the study of living organisms and their interactions with the environment. It's self-explanatory. So tips, yeah. So I was saying that it's based majority, basically most of it is based on you knowing. So in preparing for your CSEC and CAPE exam, ensure that you know the processes, ensure that you know the things in biology, the terms, right? And you hear me just mention the word processes. In biology, there's a process for everything. Literally, there are 7 characteristics to life that we would classify an organism as being alive. That's growth, respiration, irritability slash sensitivity, movement, nutrition slash feeding, excretion, and reproduction. So if an organism can carry out all 7, we consider it to be a living organism, right? Living. So that's really biology right there. Like, it's all about you knowing, memorizing, and being able to reproduce this information. It's about knowing what's happening in your bloodstream, what's happening with the heart, what's happening with the brain, what's happening with the nervous system, what's happening with the reproductive system in females, how the ovary microscopes do come into play in it as well, heavily, right? Animal and plant cells are stuff that you learn. Let me tell you what, I learned the animal and plant cell in grade 9. That was when my real foundation of biology started, in grade 9. And then you build it up for CSEC. What would have you know for CSEC biology again? You basically just learn more, so when you go to the CAPE level, it's more advanced, right? So at CSEC, yes, you should know the reproductive system in females. I'm teaching about contraceptives and those stuff. You know about the food chains, the relationships. You learn about mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, all of these relationships with organisms. You learn about fungus, bacteria. You learn all about that stuff. What else? You learn about diffusion, osmosis. Yeah, you learn about those stuff at CSEC. Now at the CAPE level, it's a bit more advanced, right? So the whole point of this is, I'm telling you, make sure you know these things. Make sure you know these things. At the CAPE level, it gets a bit more advanced, where you know about dicot root, dicot stem, things like that. The ovarian follicle. Maybe you know about the stomach. Well, they basically teach photosynthesis at CSEC, but I think it's more elaborated on at the CAPE level. If I say that the stomata and monocat, that they have an equal amount of stomata, so on the top you have less, on the bottom you have more stomata. That's the monocat leaf and things like that, so it's a lot more advanced. So the entire point of all this, ensure you know the stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. Ensure you know the stuff. Ensure that you read. Ensure that you have iconic memory. Make sure it's working. Ensure that when you see a diagram, you can reproduce it. In a subject like biology, diagrams are really handy. Like for example, whenever someone says explain the nervous system, God no. What I'm going to do, I'm going to draw the neuron, and I'm going to start with the dendrites, come to the nucleus, and it's just easier when I have a diagram working with. Yes, you can just talk it out to your brain if you know it good, that's fine. But I'm saying that it's easier. It's easier to follow and not leave out any detail when you have a diagram. So even in your exams, if for example you don't know a process completely, or maybe the process is a complex process, right? What a process name again? Ooh, why is it slipping? Why does it slip my brain? That process is glycolysis. Oh god, what the other one the name? May I try remember the process. Which one may I talk about? Calvin cycle and Krebs cycle. Like yeah, those that did me talk about, that me I think about. Yes. So things like that, just ensure you know them. Ensure that if for example you cannot completely follow out your brain, draw the diagram. When you draw the diagram and label it, then you can follow. Draw it in the exam and say, okay, alright, I'm gonna write this, and you look at the diagram and you can explain it better that way basically. So you can try that, because biology is a subject that is heavily based on diagrams to explain things. Even right now in university, when I tell you say a diagram is worth 1,000 words, it really is. It really is. Going into the lab, for me, we look at a lot of stuff under the microscope. A lot. We look at different, well, this semester, not cells, mainly plant stuff this semester. Yeah, mainly spores and things like that under the microscope. We look at the corn and all of that stuff under the microscope, but that's not the point. I'm trying to say that in biology, diagrams matter, images matter. So if you can't explain it completely, that's why you realize that in an exam, them always say with the aid of a diagram, or then give you a diagram to explain. That is why. That is why. Because diagrams make it so much easier to explain complex processes in biology. So as I said before, memorization is very important. You knowing the stuff is either you know it or you don't in biology. So for your exams, ensure that you do know it. Ensure that you guys are actually looking at your syllabus as well. Ensure you know when your syllabus, so you can't go to the exam and say, oh, where this topic come from? I never see it in the syllabus. Oh, looking at the syllabus, please. Looking at the syllabus. Yeah, so the next thing I want to say is interpretation is very important, because me can look at something and you can look at something and get something completely different. Ensure that if in biology they like to ask why, and especially with all the CSEC exams, they like to put connected questions. So it means if you get one wrong, it means that two are go wrong, like one A, one B, etc. Ensure say you just what me I say? Me I slip my mind what me I said before this, but either way, I'm say interpretation. Ensure say you interpret the diagrams properly, because in biology they like to ask why, or explain why this happened, why this never happened, and things like that. So be ready to answer questions like that. So just ensure that you know your stuff. And I was saying that the questions are connected, so you have 1A, 1B, 1C. So ensure that you can explain. So don't just know the name for a process, but be able to explain the process as well. And I like to say, don't just know the definition of mitosis. Know the process for mitosis as well. Because some people might go into the exam and go, right, oh, mitosis is cell division that produce two daughter cells, and bam, them feel like them done when part 2 say explain the process, or it's a explain prophase or interphase, or it's a metaphase, and you say what is metaphase? Like, don't go to the exam go shame yourself like that. Do not do that. Ensure that you know the stuff. That is my advice. Ensure that you know your stuff. Basically, what next? CXE loves graphs. Ensure that you know your graphs. Ensure that you know your graphs. Ensure so you can draw up a proper graph. Scale, X and Y axis, simple something, title. Put your heading, your title at the top. Ensure you label the X and Y axis, what they stand for. Ensure so you can draw up your curve or whatever they ask you for properly as well. Because them love graphs. CXE love graphs, right? For all biology, chemistry, physics. CXE seems to really love graphs. And as I said before, let me do a quick explanations are very important in biology. Explanations are very important in biology. I repeat it again. It's a subject that everything needs to be explained, and there's a process behind everything. Ensure that you know the process. That is what biology is based on, processes. So these are my the tips on how to pass your CSEC and your CAPE biology exam. Maybe some of it can also go for HSB, but the graphs and stuff, no, not for HSB. But anyway, that's the basis of biology basically. So memorization, learning and memorization, knowing the processes, knowing the diagrams, because this is what I mean. If you know how the diagram look, you more than likely can answer the question. Even if you don't remember the definition or whatever it is in the book, if you know how the diagram look, you're gonna say, well, so I remember how the diffusion something is looking at a book. The diagram really can help you formulate a definition, formulate something. Like, know your diagrams, know your graphs, know how to plot your graphs and all them things there. And I think me leave anything. As we say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. A drawing is worth 1,000 words. So if, for example, in the exam you see a question, you don't remember how something go, if you get a diagram, look on the diagram. Some people them get the diagram and them still a ton idiot. Even if you don't remember how the thing go, look at the diagram and make up something. Make up something. More than likely you might even get a half mark or something. Right? But just don't give up. Anyways, these are just my little tips on how to pass your CSEC biology and your CAPE biology exams. If this was at all helpful, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And that's the end of today's video. There's a CXE playlist down below in the description. You can go and check it out. And bye guys.